Hey there guys, Artistic Nick here, thanks for the click. In today's beginner's drawing tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to draw a dinosaur step by step. For this drawing I'm using my Caran D'ache pencils. I'm going to be using an HB, a 2B and a 4B Caran D'ache pencil. These are a really soft and smooth pencil. The graphite lays down really well with it. I'm also using a kneaded eraser to allow me to take out some of the finer details, and I'm also using a Derwent sharpener. This is the second step-by-step beginner's tutorial that I've recently done. I had some great feedback on my scorpion video that I did that dropped last week, so I thought I'd give this one a try. I'm actually going to be drawing the Triceratops for you guys today and just showing you step by step exactly how we get the general shape, and then towards the end of the drawing I'm going to be showing you how to do some basic shading that's going to allow you to make your drawing look more realistic. So to start off with this drawing, I'm finding the middle of the page and I'm drawing an oval shape, sort of an egg shape. I'm doing this very lightly because this isn't going to be what we finish with. It's just going to be the base, and we're going to build up on this. I'm then going to be locating some points for this dinosaur's legs. And to do this, I'm going to be drawing almost a skeleton version, or some bones that look like the general shape and give you the direction of this dinosaur's legs. And it's very important when you are doing something like a dinosaur, an animal, that you do get the orientation of limbs right. And as you'll notice on this dinosaur, the knees don't bend in exactly the same direction. So the front leg and the back leg, the knees do actually bend in different directions. So be sure to make sure that you do have a look closely at things like that, because those can really make or break your final drawing. I'm just getting the general length and direction with this sort of skeleton, this framework, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out the actual thickness and get a rough shape of what the actual dinosaur's legs look like, along with the feet and the toes. Next I'm going to be adding the legs that are behind the legs that are in the front of the drawing. So make sure that when you are adding something that's behind, that you do have an overlapping effect. So obviously I'm not going to be able to see all of the leg going behind the dinosaur, so just making sure that that goes up and comes to an end around about the body, making sure that the legs are a similar size and that they're the correct size and they're in proportion with the rest of the dinosaur. Looking at these things and making sure that you are correcting them as you go, all the time drawing really lightly with the pencil, so any mistakes that you do make, you can erase them quite easily without damaging the tooth of the paper. I'm having a lot of fun with this series of drawings, so if there's anything that's really quite simple that you'd like me to cover, maybe it's another animal, maybe it's another dinosaur, maybe it's a car, or something like that, then let me know down in the comments section. I'm willing to draw pretty much anything. If there's something you're stuck with, maybe it's something like hands or ears. I know that a lot of people out there struggle with ears and eyes. Then, like I say, don't forget to get hold of me in the comments section below. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel, guys. I'm seeing some really good growth at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's been really great connecting with some of you guys over on the social media. So don't forget, find me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Say hello and let me know what you think to the channel. Is there a new direction or a new series of videos that you'd like me to make? Like I say, I'm more than willing to have a go at pretty much anything. I really enjoy drawing. This is something that I do on a daily basis, so the most important thing I would say to you guys is definitely practice. You're never going to make anything worth drawing or draw anything that's absolutely fantastic first time round. It does take a lot of patience and effort, but like I say, keep practicing your basic techniques, the understanding of how to hold a pencil, how the different grades of pencils work, and how you can make things look realistic by adding shading and things like that. But I will try and cover as much of those as I can in this short series. Like I say, this is quite a beginner's type of drawing. I do realistic drawings, portraits, I do lots of anime and coloured work as well, but I did have quite a few requests over the last couple of weeks from people saying, could I do some more basic drawings and just show the entire process. So I hope you're enjoying this, I hope it's helpful. They do take a little while, take a little bit longer, these videos, to make, because I am doing them in real time. but I hope that you can just see the general way in which we are trying to create some basic shapes. And I've commented on this before when I'm doing my realistic portraits, that when we are looking at things, try and find some basic shapes, some triangles or some rectangles, or in this case we're using a lot of oval shapes. Coming for the head of this Triceratops now, which is to the left of the drawing, we're coming down and we're almost making a hooked shape. For those of you that know what a Triceratops look like, what we have is we have a hooked beak, so it almost has a bird-like beak. So we're trying to recreate that, and then we're coming down with the tail on the right-hand side. Now, as I've said in many videos, make sure that if you aren't happy with something, just correct it. The eraser is an amazing tool. In this case, I'm using a putty eraser or kneaded eraser. Any eraser will do, but make sure that when you are sketching your initial drawing out, not to press too hard. I've ruined many a drawing by pressing too hard or using too dark a pencil. Some people go in with a 2B straight away. And what that does is it's going to ingrain some of the graphite into the tooth of the paper, and you are going to find it quite difficult to erase some of that, particularly if you've pressed hard. So one of the most important tips that I've got for you guys is start out as light as you can. Obviously, when I'm making these videos, I have to go slightly darker than I ordinarily would do, just so that it's showing up on camera. So this Triceratops has what we call a frill, so around the top of the head there's a protective, almost a shield, that protects the dinosaur's neck. And the Triceratops has 3 horns, so it has 2 horns towards the top of the head and 1 coming out of the beak. So we're going to just start plotting them out roughly, making sure that we get some nice sharp ends, some tapered ends, before we start darkening the rest of the lines and then finally adding the shading. Then once I'm happy with the general shape, I'm making sure things are in proportion. So the head isn't too big for the body, the legs are all the right shape and again the right proportion. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to use an HB pencil and I'm just going to darken the areas, making sure that I go over the lines that I want to keep and leaving the lines that I'm going to erase still very light. This is going to allow me to start final preparations for the actual overall shape and how things are going to look when it's finished. So as you can see now, I'm going in with the HB pencil. I'm going to press on slightly harder now because I've got the general layout and the general finish to the dinosaur. And you'll now start to see what I mean by I'm going over the lines that I want to keep, and I'm going to miss out some of the lines. So within the frill area there, you can see the oval of the body, which I'm going to leave because I will be erasing that. I am going to show you how to shade this and try and bring it slightly more to life towards the end. So it's not absolutely imperative that you do erase all of the lighter lines that you don't need, because we can actually go over that with your pencils towards the end and fill it all out. Whenever you're drawing anything, whether you want it to look ultra realistic or you just want to give it that sense of realism, it's important that we don't leave any of the paper white. So the next part is going to be time-lapsed, but what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm going to be using a 2B pencil and my HB pencil to go into the darkest areas, and the darkest areas inevitably are the things that are furthest away from any light source. So underneath the dinosaur's tummy are going to be the darker areas. Around the frill, by darkening the frill out around the edge, it's going to lift that from the actual body of the dinosaur, and this is always my favourite part. So make sure you stick around for that, because it really does take this drawing to another level. So as you can see now, I'm happy with the overall layout and overall shape of this Triceratops. So what I'm doing again with my kneaded eraser, I'm just going in and I'm taking out the very light pencil strokes, just getting most of them out, just tidying it up, ready for me to start laying down the shading and starting to bring this dinosaur to a little bit more of life and getting some skin texture in there as well. So I'm quite happy with that. If yours is looking something similar to this, then well done. You've done a good job so far. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start adding some of the darkest areas in with the HB pencil. And I'm using a rocking motion. It's almost a scribbling type action, just to make sure that I do get some of the value down. And then what I'm going to do to blend the value out and blend some of the graphite out is I'm actually going to be using a blending stump. So a blending stump is it's a very tightly rolled piece of paper. You can get these from any art shop, art suppliers. What you can also use is a Q-tip, which is an earbud which people use to clean their ears out with. Or you can use tissue paper, that works really well. If you don't have any of these, you can actually use your finger to blend out. What I would recommend doing though is making sure that you have washed your hands thoroughly and dried them, because you don't want to be getting skin oil all over your drawing. But any of those methods will work absolutely fine. So before we get to the end of this video, guys, I just wanted once more to thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope you'd consider subscribing and turning the notifications icon on so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Let me know if there's something you'd like me to draw in future, if there's some type of character, anime character, gaming character, or whether you want me to continue with this beginner's course and draw something for you, then let me know down in the comments section. I've really enjoyed this video, really enjoyed drawing this Triceratops. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Hit subscribe, smack the notifications button, follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.